regardless, you think God cares that you put a microchip in your body? You think God cares that you put a microchip in your body?
Black man, ain't no microchip can stop you from getting the kingdom. The only thing that can stop you from getting the kingdom is you, black man. Read that for me up. The book of Revelation.
Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation, as always, to the elect. And I wanted to do a response, all right, to this breakdown, all right, of Revelation, the 13th chapter, in particular, all right, the breakdown of the mark of the beast, all right, by the Isupk, which you saw at the beginning of this video, the leader of the Isupk, all right, and his stance towards, all right, the RFID micro C-hip, all right, the Most High does not care, all right, if you allow Esau to put that in you, because it's in your cell phone, all right, it's in everything you use. So why would God care if you put it inside of you? Okay, so this is going to lead many Israelites, okay, who are led by these individuals to take it. All right, now over the years, okay, the Isupk's breakdown of the MOTB has changed. All right, I mean, you've had instances where they've said it's sleeping with white women. They even said Solomon had the mark of the beast, all right, which the mark of the beast was something that would ultimately be implemented in end-time prophecy. Couldn't have been around during the time of Solomon. Okay, this particular mark that is spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right, they've also said that it's taken up the sword for Esau, Edom.
Okay, he was about a U.S. Marshal by the name of Bass Reeves. We're going to go into this story and show you how this man received the mark of the beast. Okay, he was a U.S. deputy. He was appointed by a judge in the Indian Territory in the 1800s. And read about the mark of the beast to show you that it's not a chip, it's not any device pierced in your skin, but it is in your hand, a weapon that you take up for the white man, the devil, or his Christianity, his philosophy. It's to show you that it's not a chip, it's not any device pierced in your skin, but it is in your hand, a weapon that you take up for the white man, the devil, or his Christianity, his philosophy, okay? And that's when he...
Is not a microchip a part of his philosophy?
Took up the arms, okay? The mark in his hand, which is the mark of the beast. Read on his chest, all right? And you see that rifle? That was the arms he took up in his hand. We're showing you again and again, over and over, how people do things and how the scripture doesn't lie, okay? And that's when he took up the arms, okay? The mark in his hand, which is the mark of the beast. And you see that rifle? That was the arms he took up in his hand.
What the fuck? All right, but as we're going to listen to this individual here, he's now saying it's an embargo, which they've said that before as well, amongst, you know, many other breakdowns. But this is for the purpose of edification and to break down how ultimately it could not be an embargo. All right, now this individual here, you know, years ago used to be in Great Millstone. All right, but he left because he was rebuked. All right, for ultimately reasons surrounding, you know, being a freeloader and, you know, living with brothers, not cleaning up. You know, he got disciplined and left. Went to another camp, Shield of Wisdom, I believe their name is. All right, and they kicked him out. All right, the brothers in LA know more about the story, so I'm not gonna speak too much on it. But I know that there was a fight that broke out, and this dude scurried off. You know, now he's with the Isupk, putting on this no coward persona. All right, but you know, more than anything, I'm just going to focus on the breakdown, bring out the edification, and hopefully you brothers and sisters be edified. Let's go ahead and listen to him, then we'll get into it, because this is what we do.
And he calls it all, both small and great. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not talking about a microchip. And this is not talking about a nigga buying Cheetos at the liquor store.
You think God cares that you put a microchip in your body? You think God cares that you put a microchip in your body? You think God cares? You think God cares? You think God cares? You think God cares? You got a microchip on your phone, a microchip in everything that you have has a microchip.
That's not what this is talking about. These are small and great, rich and poor, free and bond nations.
Now, I don't know if this is a breakdown, because I remember the Bishop Nathaniel said this before, but, again, they've changed their breakdown. I don't know where they're getting this breakdown from, but they're saying this is not talking about individuals. All right, now let's read it here. Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, they're saying this ain't talking about individuals. This is talking about nations. Now, what's in nations? What's in nations of people is, nations are filled with people. So the nation itself is going to be, caused to receive the mark, but the people in it, how they buy and sell, won't change. All right. But when you read the warning that will go out concerning this mark as pertaining to the new song, which is the gospel, spoken by the prophets, okay? The warning, all right, is this. Revelation 14 and 9, and a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, okay, and his image, all right, which they're of the opinion that the image is just simply a picture of white Jesus, okay? The image is far more, complex than just a picture of white Jesus. Now, they did use Christianity. That is a form, that is a part of their image, all right, but it's much more. The image is fulfilled in, the government, the system we see being implemented right before us. You see the Bennett, the buildings, the Senate, the Capitol building, okay, shopping malls, okay, coliseums, all right, heated floors, concrete bridges. This all goes back to Rome, all right, along with its idols. You see the idols of Rome, all of that is fulfilled in the image. It's not just a mere picture of Caesar Borgia, all right. And as we get closer and closer to the end of this thing, these elites in America wants nothing to do with the Bible. They're even done with white Jesus. It's played its part. We don't see Joe Biden standing up in front of the world saying you're going to have to bow to white Jesus. They're pushing science, Satanism, okay? It says, so if any man worship the beast, okay, this system, Esau, Edom, in his image, the ways of the system, the policies, the idols associated with it, all right, this whole system has rebirthed Rome back into the planet Earth. And we always go into it, right, and receive his mark, all right, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, all right, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, all right, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Those chariots are going to be, watching this. We're going to be watching that destruction. But right here, it says, if any man, let's look up this word man. If any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hands. Okay? The word for man, if any man, tis, all right, tis the season, nigga. a certain one, All right, a certain one. All right, a man. Okay. Use the persons and things concerning which the writer either cannot or will not speak on more certainly. Okay. It says if any man receive. Okay. And that's pretty clear. All right. It's not going to be nations being beheaded. All right. When you read Revelation, the 20th chapter. Okay. Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat up on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, that had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had they received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua, all right, 1,000 years. That's the first 1,000 years, all right, in the kingdom. But all right, these are individuals ruling with Yahushua, all right, because they stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. Now, can you behead a nation? Let's listen to this individual again. Let's go back. Okay, Spirit was just on me to edify, so this is what we're doing.
Who had a deadly wound from a sword that was healed. It's the Roman Catholic Church that carried on the spirit.
It's not the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, the starting at the Renaissance period. Okay, in Italy, eventually you had the Spanish, the French, the British. Out of the British came the Americas. All right, the 13 colonies. All right, which ultimately, through this system, all right, along with the NATO and the EU. All right, Rome was reborn into the earth. Now, the Roman Catholic Church, all right, is a part of the system, okay, but it serves as the false prophet, all right, one of the unclean frogs, one of the three city-states, all right, that aid this beast system, all right, which out of London you have the financial, okay, that's a city-state. Out of the, Washington, D.C., you have the military might, one city-state, and out of the Vatican, you have the spiritual, all right, aspect. Okay, the Israelites wouldn't be captive in the Vatican City. Okay, that's not the fulfillment, all right, of the beast. Okay, but again, they do aid, all right, and they call on, their witches and warlocks, all right, to ultimately fulfill the role of Satan in the earth. Yeah, it's a part of it, but the Roman Catholic Church is not a fulfillment of the beast being reborn fully. Okay, you have to go deeper into that. Okay, NATO and the EU, along with Babylon the Great, all right, is a revival of Rome. Because when you look at the EU countries, okay, it ultimately is if you look at a map of the EU and you look at a map of the ancient Roman Empire, it's the same territories. Which been added is Babylon the Great, Canada, okay, and through these alliances, many other nations have joined unto them. Okay, this is the beast system that rules the earth. Okay, and when you look up this word beast, all right, when you look up this word beast, all right, it's letting you know who it's talking about. Let's get that real quick. Should be, I believe, Therion. Yep, Therion. All right, Therion, animal, a wild beast, metaphorically a brutal, bestial man, savage and ferocious. And these nations are likened unto beasts because they don't rule and govern, all right, with the authority, all right, of the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and people become beast-like as they take on their ways. So the Esau Edom is the one ruling right now, which this is the revival of Rome, the revival of the fourth beast that was spoken of in Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay, and members of the Isupk don't really go into these breakdowns. The way that this individual is even able to tap into this, okay, just like when Tazariak left from learning from Great Millstone, he became the top teacher in Isupk in a matter of weeks and months. All right, but as he, was with them, he pretty much, got worse. He don't even really bring out the scriptures anymore. He's pretty much a politician. Anyway, let's listen to this guy because he got certain aspects of this breakdown of Revelation 13 right. I'm not going to sit here and act like he broke the whole thing down wrong. Okay, but this is the most important part right here because this is where we are right now. And many Israelites are going to be, all right, because Jake is fleshly. And here it is, you have these leaders telling Jake that the mark and the C-hip, the Most High don't care if you take a C-hip. Put it in you, just like they told you to take that juice. Now all of these juice, all right, providers are getting sued. People are jacked up. And just because you ain't jacked up yet don't mean you ain't going to be jacked up. Because the Heavenly Father got a lot of judgments, all right, reserved for a lot of you Israelites, man. Because that didn't make no sense for y'all to roll around there, lay around there and tell Jake they will be stupid if they didn't take that jab, that VAX, which that's not even a real VAX. That's a D to the N to the A altering mechanism that even the United States had to come out and say this is not in line with a traditional VAX. Why would you tell Israelites to get that? So these dudes are bought and paid for, all right, and the Heavenly Father ain't dealing with them. You Israelites better wake the hell up. We ain't doing these videos just for the purpose of, let me cut this nigga. The bottom line, as it says in the book of Jude, okay, Jude, verse 22, it says, and some have compassion, making a difference, and others say with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. And their garments are spotted with flesh. See, the garment represents your covering. We see flesh, so we have to call it out. So we're trying to pull the elect that may be among them out of the fire. All right, because this individual used to teach that the MOTB was the C-hip. Now all of a sudden, okay, he's on his third breakdown of the MOTB with his third camp.
Spirit of Rome. During the time of the Renaissance or the rebirth of the Roman Catholic or the spirit of Rome and the earth. And he calls it all, both small and great. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not talking about a microchip. And this is not talking about a nigga buying Cheetos at the liquor store.
So how will individuals buy and sell as these nations take on this system? It won't be altered. So just the nation, the small nation, the great nation, the rich nation, the bond nation, the poor nation, just the nation will take on this mark, and it changes how they, well, I don't know. Let's listen to the man.
That's not what this is talking about. These are small and great, rich and poor, free and bond nations. This is much bigger than you. To receive a mark in their...
So what is a nation? Okay, let's look up the word nation. We got embargo because we're going to have to go into that, but what is a nation? Definition. A nation is a large body of people. See, this stuff works on those jailhouse, back door, lip hanging, sunflower seed chewing, TV dinner jakes. But, come on, man. A nation is a large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, language, inhabiting a particular country. So within a nation is people. I mean, that shouldn't be hard to understand.
Their right hand. Oh, did you read that? Select it. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What is a mark? Go ahead, Krazak. Go ahead.
So is that kind of like what they're doing now with all these like
a little louder, Babu Shah.
Is that like what they're doing now, like as far as like how they're making every nation kind of pick a side with these BRICS and NATO stuff?
Yeah, but now see the beast is losing its power. That's why Revelation 12, it was in the heavens, but now the Most High brought it low, which is why I'm mentioning Joel the 3rd chapter, because the Most High said now he wants the other nations to be like, I'm tired of America, because America was a bully and is, but now the nations is like, hold on, like Russia, for example, right? How are you gonna tell me I can't have military presence in Ukraine, but you can have military presence wherever you want? What do you think this is? Right? Come on now. Go ahead. What was your question again?
I was asking, is that like them? Is that America enforcing its mark? You know what I'm saying, about making them pick a side? Like, are you gonna be a part of NATO? Who's a part of NATO? Who's not a part of NATO?
Right. That's
whoever isn't. They get. You know, those are called. They get blocked. You know, turning. I can't say the words. Like, I can't think of it. Basically, they get like, you know, taxes imposed on them.
Sanctions.
And stuff like that.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. You know, if you're a farmer.
The mark of the beast is not a sanction, man. We go let him keep talking and we'll get into it. Because they're saying an embargo, the sanction.
Farmer, you know what you do to your animals? You brand them.
Right, you brand your animals, okay, for the purpose of identifying them. Well, the brand is now going digital. The brand is now going to be a digital thing. In ancient times, marks were associated with, all right, as we always get into this word, let's get it, all right, the chi-side stigma aspect, okay. Stigma is what? A mark pricked or branded upon the body. To ancient and oriental customs or usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. So, okay, in times past, all right, the mark was associated with a brand, so the master can say, this is my property, or a tattoo. Okay, so why isn't, all right, that which is then is now tied to this whole MOTB breakdown that these individuals are breaking out? Of course, they used to brand, all right, horses. They used to brand individuals too. To say, you know, basically you are making your alliance with this God. So what is the modern day version of that, as now this devil is able to do miracles? He has this great technology. How are they going to play out this system, all right, which the Greeks and the Romans branded and tattooed you? All right, you know, in Greek fraternities, they do the brands. Esau in slavery, he would brand you. Look at the movie Antebellum. If you try to run away, he would brand you to, you know, even they would even put the brands on forehead. So anywhere you went, they would know who you're associated with. To get into the Roman military, sometimes you would have to have a tattoo. These things would ID you and who you belong to. In today's world, even in Egypt, they branded their slaves. They found that out. So in today's world, how will this be played out? All right, it's through what they're telling you they're going to do, the fourth industrial revolution, where man will be merged with machine.
Right? With a what? A mark. Now, this is not a physical mark, right?
Now, he just said it's not a physical mark, right? Well, when you look up this word, because there's many, you know, there's about 3 or 4 words for mark in the Bible. You have to be able to extinguish them, distinguish between the two, not extinguish, distinguish. All right, and this word mark here in the Hebrew is charagma, right? A stamp imprinted, a mark stamped upon the forehead, on the right hand, as a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. Like you see those Indians with those red dots, that's an alliance to their God. Okay? But again, now this ancient system of marking and branding will be now digital. It says a mark branded upon horses to identify them, a thing carved, a graven work of idolatrous images. So this is a physical thing. And in the book of Acts, this same word, charagma, is used here in Acts 17 and 29, saying, for as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High, we ought not to think of the Godhead, all right, like unto gold or silver or stone, graven, okay, graven, all right, by art and a man's device, graven, a graven image. It's an idol. It's a physical thing. Okay? We have a spiritual mark, all right, that goes back to Ezekiel 9:4, where we're exempt from judgment. The Thawa, the blood of Yahushai. Esau is coming with a actual physical mark, all right, to say this is how you will enter into life in my world.
It's your allegiance to the beast. Mm-hmm. If you are someone who, namely, is against the Israelite school, UPK, I have news for you. You have the mark of the beast.
So if you're against ISUPK, you have the mark of the beast.
The beast is your father. And you've pledged allegiance to the beast. You saying I belong to the beast. Where we have a different mark. Right? We're marked differently from you. Like mark is in the Bible. That's why when people talk about an actual chip that they're gonna put in your right hand and Amazon Prime and you're gonna swipe it and this is how you're gonna pay for groceries. No. Right? Get up.
Like there's a word for mark. The scriptures say mark them that cause division. Okay? Romans 16:17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned, and avoid them. That word mark ain't charagma. So you have to know how to go into the scriptures. It's scopeo, which means to look at, to observe. So, you know? Ezekiel 9:4. All right, in the Hebrew has a mark. Okay, it's a different word used here. Okay, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry. The word mark here is thawa. Okay, a sign of exemption from judgment. So you have to go into these things and differentiate them and break them down.
Ezekiel 9:4. I'm gonna show you. There's different marks in the Bible.
It's like he's cutting himself. Yeah, there are different marks, and that you're making the point.
But did that answer your question, brother?
Sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
This is not the mark of the beast. This is a mark of God.
That's right.
And you know what?
He's right. This is not the mark of the beast, because John ain't breaking down the mark of the beast in this chapter. This is Ezekiel 9:4. John the Revelator wasn't even on the scene at this time. Okay, remember, when you deal with the book of Revelation, okay, Revelation 1:1, the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servant things which must shortly come to pass. Okay, things that are going to come to pass. From the point he got this revelation and vision to the end time would these things happen. Okay, so this mark spoken of in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, okay, wouldn't come around until the end of this beast system once Babylon the Great was raised up.
This mark is to what? Like when the children of Israel put lamb's blood on the doorpost so that death would pass over, what were the children of Israel doing? What were they? They were marked from judgment. If you look up the word mark in that verse, in the Hebrew, it's thawa. Big up to the bar. It means exemption from judgment. That's a different mark. But see, now there's a mark of the Most High, and there's a mark of the beast. There are things you do That's where it talks about a mark in their right hand, or on your forehead, or on your mind. Your right hand, it's your actions. That's your right hand. So what does that mean? What you do shows who you serve and who you're in allegiance with.
How will this affect how you buy and sell? See, you have to have this mark in order to buy and sell. So you can just be say I worship Satan, be a thug, all right, be a part of the alphabet community, and then that will grant you the permission to buy and sell. Absolutely not. This is confusion, man.
You have the mark of the beast. You're somebody who, if you're someone who celebrates Christmas, celebrates New Year's, and creates New Year's resolutions and fails the next day, and you get high and sell drugs and you gangbang, you're a Christian. You have the mark of the beast, because that's.
So they're going to be able to. That's going to allow them to buy and sell.
Everything the beast represents. We've explained who the beast is. We explained how his wound was, one of his heads was wounded, how it was healed. We talked about the Roman Catholic Church, the spirit of the Roman Empire being renaissance or rebirthed into the earth after they were down 1,000 years because black people ruled Europe. Right?
Right.
You are a product of the beast. I am not.
So they will be able to buy and sell, and you won't. Or, I mean, you got to break that down, but let's see if he does.
I don't believe in same-sex marriages. I don't condone that, because that is what the beast condones.
Right.
Yep, it's a part of his image. And see, he's forcing his image on the world right now. He's pushing his image, and it's going to be harder to even operate in this system if you don't bow to that image. Okay, this is where the famine of the word and all of these things are coming. People who hold to particular beliefs, if you're not aligned with the beast system, you could be killed. And this word killed, all right, can also mean to be separated. Okay?
I don't bow down and worship the image of the beast because Christ is a black man. I told you the spirit of Rome is what America conquered in. The spirit of Rome. And during the time of Rome, 2,000 years ago, during the first century of Rome, arguably the height of its power, there was a man by the name of Hamashiach Yahushua who lived. And guess what? He was a threat to the Roman Empire then. And guess what? The spirit of Christ lives. And it's still a threat to the Roman Empire to this day.
That's right.
Get the Most High hand, man. It's the Bible. It is literally the Bible. It's the most amazing record.
And we know when preachers know they, losing the crowd or they ain't gonna really be able to break something down, they play on their emotions. All right, but what he's saying is true. Although we don't believe in, Christ, this is the revival of Rome, and the spirit of Yahushua is here through his men. All right, but let's keep listening.
Of all mankind, they tried to get away with our records. They tried to hide them in the Vatican. They tried to get rid of the books in the Apocrypha, the Book of Maccabees, Second Maccabees, Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus, Song of the Three Holy Children, the Prayer of Manasseh, the History of Susanna, Tobit, Bel and the Dragon. You know who did that? You know who tried to hide that and suppress that information? The Roman Catholic Church.
Right.
And they blasphemed God. They blasphemed the tabernacle. They blasphemed heaven. That he sat in the temple and said he is God. We came to the realization that he is the son of perdition. You're the reason why the air is polluted. You're the reason why animals go extinct. You're the reason why black people hate each other. You're the reason Earth is in the state it's in today. He's the reason.
Right, okay.
But you know why he's in power? Because people fear him.
He's in power because the Most High put him in power.
People worship the beast. They worship the image of the beast. But there are 7,000 men who have not bowed down their knee to Baal, the Most High reserved. You see that? And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, nations.
It says small and great, rich and poor. And in nations, people are there. I mean, this doesn't take... You don't have to be a all-time great scholar to know that, like, why? Let's keep going.
free and bond. Third world countries, first world countries, all had to submit to America's democracy and religion.
Not all of the nations in the world submit to America's religion. You have Muslim nations. Okay? The religion aspect will go into the image of the beast. This mark is something, all right, that is going to be forced or implemented on the people as a form of how you will buy and sell, how you will be identified. This is why we have the digital ID system. All right? The digital ID system being set up. Okay? They're talking about making this come to pass by 2026. Okay? And how will you ultimately be identified? Of course, it'll start on your phone and this and that. But all of your records are eventually going to be, all right, on, all right, that mark. That's how you're going to identify yourself. Okay? Because, see, you can throw your cell phone in the river. Okay? But you, all right, if it's inside of you, all right, that's how you will be surveilled. All right? That's how they're going to identify you. Okay? And we got videos coming, you know, more MOTB news, but I just wanted to go into this breakdown, so I don't want to go too much into the news. But again, they're going to try to get you in this fourth industrial revolution to merge man with machine, because their miracles started with the first industrial revolution, going back to the British. They had their second industrial revolution, their third industrial revolution. The fourth is going to merge you with machine, transhumanism.
Everybody has to follow Christianity.
Everybody is not following or being forced to follow Christianity. The so-called white man in America, they swear in on the Bible, but they don't rule the world with Christian principles. They don't go around the world forcing Christianity anymore. That was all a facade. All right? You know, you outdated. You know, that's going back to Christopher Columbus and them. Esau wants nothing to do with the Bible. He don't talk about Jesus. They don't give a damn. Now, Trump is acting like he's some form of Christian, but that's all right for the purpose of linking Bible believers to people who are crazy. Okay?
I got news for you. If you're Muslim, you're a Christian. Because when you think of Christ, what you think of? A white man. You have the mark of the beast.
All right, bro. So now it's the mark of the beast is Christianity. You know, I don't get it. Okay. And in other countries, they practice Hinduism, Buddhism. So they're exempt. Okay, what is the one thing that all of these nations are coming together and agreeing on? Is digital currency, digital ID, biometrics. Okay, that's something that we could see all of these nations agreeing on. Okay, hold up. Okay, biometricupdate.com is a, you know, all of these nations are going into, all right, a biometric, okay, digital system. We see this happening right before our eyes, man. Okay? They don't agree religious-wise, but they agree, okay, on bringing their nations, all right, which people are in those nations, into this system. Going around, you know, the scanning pupils and, okay. Look what's going on in China.
Keep going. 17.
Or 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
This is talking about buying or selling. It's not talking about groceries or Neapolitan ice cream.
It said if any man might buy or sell.
Which I cannot stand, by the way. Like,
he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, that no man might buy or sell. Okay? Men and women are inside of these nations.
Just give me chocolate or vanilla. So I can't help myself. But in all seriousness, this is how America places, as I mentioned it earlier, sanctions on different nations who don't abide by the rules and regulations and policies America establishes. So they place sanctions on different nations. No trading commerce.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is talking about.
Now, America just placed sanctions on Russia, right? So is Russia not able to buy and sell anymore?
Has issued its largest sanctions package against Russia since Moscow invaded Ukraine. The United States has issued its largest sanctions package against Russia since Moscow invaded Ukraine 2 years ago. The Biden administration on Friday imposed more than 600 sanctions targeting Russian companies, financial systems, and business leaders. The sanctions also go after 3 individuals the U.S. believes are connected to the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who died in a Russian prison last week. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has more.
Make no mistake, Putin is responsible for Alexei's death.
The sweeping sanctions unveiled by President Biden include penalties on those specific individuals who ran the Arctic penal colony, where detained opposition leader Alexei Navalny died 1 week ago.
We in the United States are going to continue to ensure that Putin pays the price for his aggression abroad and repression at home.
In total, there are roughly 600 new sanctions on individuals and entities in Russia and 11 other countries, including China, Serbia, and the United Arab Emirates. They include Russia's top steel producer, making parts for military helicopters, a railroad company used by the Russian army, a major Moscow bank, and a Russian-Iranian supply network making lethal attack drones used in Ukraine.
These sanctions, these restrictions have had a significant impact on Russia, both in its ability to prosecute its aggression, but even more, we see that they're going to have a growing and long-term impact on Russia, its ability to modernize its industries.
But CBS News contributor Samantha Vinograd says sanctions so far haven't been effective, in part because Putin has maintained strong financial ties with countries that have kept the war machine functioning.
While U.S. sanctions are designed to have an impact over time, to trickle down in the Russian economy, what's happening now is more important. Ukraine is poised to run out of ammunition, and Russia has enough money to keep fueling its war machine, at least in the near term.
So the sanctions that were put on Russia may have stopped them from trading and buying in particular things dealing with America. All right, but it didn't really affect them like that. They still buying and selling and trading with many countries. There's many countries that rely on Russia. So again, this is why, again, you can get these things over on the jailhouse. All right, the Salisbury steak TV dinner eating Jake, you know, who really don't know what's going on, right? And I'm just talking, you know what I'm saying? Look, we all in a cursed condition. I'm no better than you all when it comes to the flesh. You know, we all through here. But I'm just making a point. All right? You know, y'all had that jailhouse program. So it's easy to just run these things over. Okay, a sanction. So first it was the Christianity. If you got the mark. Now it's a sanction. See? Now it's a sanction being put on a nation. Right? Which again, we've seen America put sanctions on countries, but that did not stop them. It may have hurt their economy, but it didn't stop them from trading and selling in other aspects. This system here that's going to be put in place, all right, is going to ultimately, you're not going to be able to buy or sell a goddamn thing unless you have this mark. Okay, and Christianity ain't the mark. So-called white man is done with that.
They cut them off. Keep going.
Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Meaning, if you don't pledge allegiance to this beast. That's why BRICS is so monumental. Because the nations are saying, I am strong. They're saying we're no longer weak. They're turning their plowshares into...
the BRICS is about ultimately operating outside of the dollar. Okay? Trading and buying and selling outside of the dollar. Okay? And they're talking about forming their own currency, which is going to be digital. Okay? So this dude is all mixed up. All All right, but of course, these nations are going to come together, all right, headed by Russia, all right, to bomb Israel, which is going to start World War III. Okay, and America's going to get involved, and it's over.
Oh, just get Joel. Someone get Joel the 3rd chapter, the 9th verse, real quick, since I've been quoting it over and over. Read verse 18, so we can finish up Revelation 13:18, and then we'll close on Joel 3.
Call time.
So he didn't really break down the buying and selling aspect. He just said ultimately this is a sanction, or sometimes they'll say it's an embargo, which an embargo is an official ban on trade or other commercial activity with a particular country, Okay? So this keeps you, this is an embargo. It keeps you, all right, it bans you from trading. All right, but this mark, it allows you to buy and sell. Okay? And they're already doing it in certain parts of the world. We always do the videos.
Here is wisdom.
If anybody watching, if you could type one, if just the number 1, if the audio and video is clear, just type 1. Just 1.
He know he didn't break that down, right? He know in the back of his head, GMS is going to do responses, right?
Go ahead.
Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
It's the number of a man. Go ahead.
And his number is 666.
What is that? 666, right? It's 666 men. Really, the ruling class of the earth today.
You see the bullshit that these dudes are talking about? Chi-side stigma has nothing to do with 666 men. Chi is the first letter in Christ or anointed. Psi, all right? Ultimately, we always break this down. You see this, like when you look at Tesla, right? As a matter of fact, let's do it like this. You see the Xi, okay? When you see those 3 lines, that is an uppercase Xi, okay? And you see this letter right here. The uppercase Xi is these 3 lines. Now let's look at, all right, it talks about in this, see if it brings it up in this article. All right. You see Tesla has that, those 3 E's. It's ultimately, when you break it down, it goes into their left-hand philosophies, man. Their science. Because they're going to X out the anointed one. Okay, enter in their science and their witchcraft. And stigma, we already showed you, is ultimately a brand, a mark pricked up on the body to show who you align with. This is not talking about 666 men, the ruling class. Come on, bro.
The ones who they're the ruling class.
Man, bro.
They're the ones who, the water for everybody that put that in the chat, it was doing something weird on the computer. They're the ones who propagate the evil. You understand?
Right.
They do that. But yeah, that's that, right? They're the ones that tell the Rothschilds what to do. Joel 3.
Who are they? What's their names? Goodness gracious, man. And we see that number as well, that 666. It's embedded within many of Esau's logos. Google, okay, Taco Bell. It's hitting, that number is hitting a lot within this system. So I just wanted to go into that, man. You know, the bottom line is we always go into this, but I just wanted to hit that, you know. Let's see here.
Yeah. Prepare for war. First time in over 20 years. The week what? You're done. Right. You're through.
Yo. Hey, call Allah, Yahweh, Shai. Hey, y'all can use through. Anybody can use through. Because I've been saying through That goes back to me and my homie in high school, in junior college, man. You know. But hey, man, hopefully I'll edify, man. On to the next. Shalom. You through.